Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. So, what we have here is a bit more evidence of what's going on with Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf and his father, Jeff Metcalf, because there is a lot of things going on. Now, I did make a video as of recently where I said that the Anthony or the Karmelo family has, essentially bought the house or after with the $400,000 funds, and that doesn't seem to be the case. All right, so I was wrong there, and I will be truthful when I do the actual reporting, and that's what we have. So again, we have this here from Simon Fitzgerald saying evidence shows that Karmelo murdered Austin, and those supporting him are largely motivated by hate for whites. But rather than focus on the awful reality, some people try to juice the story for clicks, saying the Anthony fan was using his defense fund to buy a house. Shameful. Now, I do not know whether or not the car accusation is correct or not. But if it is correct, then that's going to be a problem, right? That is, they're using funds. But they did not use the funds to buy the house as of currently here, because what we have here, this is, I'll read the full thing here. So it says, this form is intended to be used to extend a 2016 or later version of the lease. If you are extending a lease that was written on a prior version of the form, it is recommended that you enter a new lease on the updated form to ensure compliance with changes in Texas law. So it says, concerning the residual lease of the property at, obviously I don't want to really say the names, say the thing there so you guys can obviously see it. It says, this is between Sandeep Moretti, and amendments to lease was effective of 7/01/2024. Landlord and tenant extend and amend the above referenced lease as follows. So that's what we have here. And it goes on to say here that if tenant does not sign and return the extension to landlord on or before 6/25/24, landlord notifies tenant that the lease in accordance with the terms, blah, 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 the amount of money, doesn't matter, 7/01/24. So this is by Kayla Hayes and Andrew Anthony and Sandeep Moretti. So as we can see here, this is something that they do this. This was back in 2024, so this did not happen, obviously, in 2025, because this was all done in 2024. So I was wrong with them actually getting the house with the actual funds here. So that being said, I was wrong about that. And I give you the address and the email and all the documents, which we're not going to go over because we don't need to dox these people, all right? There's no point. So, again, what we have here, though, is a bigger, crazier story, right? This is what we have here with Carlin Rugg, saying, Austin Metcalf's father's home was swatted last night, just hours after he was kicked out of Karmelo Anthony's press conference. Swatting is when fake 911 calls, or blah, 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 blah. We know what swatting is. Metcalf was thankfully not home at the time police arrived, but got to the house 5 minutes later. The incident came just hours after Metcalf was kicked out of Anthony's press conference. At the press conference, Minister Dominic Alexander ripped Mr. Metcalf, calling him a disrespectful. Anthony's mother spent almost the entire press conference venting about how hard things have been for her family, spending very little time on Metcalf, who was murdered by her son. So, yeah, we're going to go over this here. This is a big, juicy meatball. This is the big one here.
An update on the deadly stabbing in Frisco. Frisco police just confirmed a swatting call was made tonight to an address belonging to the victim's father. Now that's a prank call designed to bring a lot of police to a scene. Tonight, Jeff Metcalf confirms to WFAA he wasn't home when it happened, but he did arrive about 5 minutes later. Now, this is new information, and right now we're working to learn more details. But earlier today, everything stopped and heads turned when Metcalf showed up to a news conference called by the suspect's family. Tonight, Matt Howerton has a desperate plea from Karmelo Anthony's mother.
They came to speak for the accused. Jeff Metcalf came for his son. The father of Austin Metcalf surprised cameras at a press conference in Dallas Thursday, waiting for the mother of Karmelo Anthony to speak for the first time. Anthony, 17, now charged with murder, out on bond after telling police he stabbed Metcalf in self-defense. Metcalf's father asked to leave the press conference, and then it began like this.
The father being at this press conference. These are my words. Don't quote anybody. Is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
Metcalf telling WFAA he was just there to listen.
I'm not here to create a disturbance. I'm just here to stand by and witness this press conference.
And shook the hands of officers before leaving. Since he was asked to leave the press conference, we asked Metcalf what he thought about those remarks. Thursday night, he told us he's not talking to any media right now.
Our family has been under attack.
Anthony
So again, what I want you to have here is that this father has every right to be at a press conference because his son was murdered, and of course we have this Dominic piece of garbage having to say something about it, and that's just disgusting, right? Like he has every right to be at this conference, he has every right to be there, and they kicked him out, and he did it gracefully. This is the huge contrast difference between what Karmelo Anthony did to his own son, where he didn't have good, proper emotion regulation and decided to stab somebody and kill his son. Whereas he said, "Okay, I'm just gonna go and leave," and shook the hands of officers and just left. So there's you have it. I mean, you can't really get something more outstanding than that. And besides, obviously, we're gonna go with the contrast here of of him being left wing or not. I don't care because despite his politics, he did this with grace, and it was pretty of a BA move of him in order to do this.
His mother, Kayla Hayes, did eventually speak.
The claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false.
Emotionally denying her family has used any money from a Give Send Go fund that's collected over $450,000. The internet has suggested otherwise and has flooded Hayes' family with threats, she says.
My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom.
At the presser, it was also revealed that Frisco ISD has moved to expel Anthony weeks before he was supposed to graduate. An accusation of murder on school property results in an automatic expulsion per the district's code of conduct. Anthony could appeal, and an advocate suggested that may happen.
Thank you, and God bless you.
The room emptied when the presser ended, but the temperature around this case didn't drop.
Yeah. So again, what we have here is that we have the followers being swatted, and that's the big thing here, right? Where we have the biggest issue. And then we have this here from Shameka Michelle. She goes on to say here that the spokesman for Karmelo Anthony's family is an ignorant poser. They should have aimed higher. This is what she has to say for this.
Because I believe you were at that 2020 Trump rally where he tried to commandeer the stage. Things got violent, or anyway. What is your memory of that? What can you tell us about Dominique Alexander?
Actually, Jason, I was speaking at the time. I was the one that he felt like he didn't like what I was saying. He didn't like that a black woman was actually talking at this rally. It was a Rescue America rally, which was
See, there we go.
was done by the walkaway.
Right? This is a man attacking, just being violent for no reason. And this is part of the course, though. That guy has a rap sheet longer than rather than Vegeta himself. And if anybody knows the anime reference, you guys get the joke here, right? Obviously, you get the reference. So yeah, this guy is not the greatest person on the planet.
Campaign, but those of us who actually supported Trump at the time, we were speaking out about it, and he didn't like that. He actually had set up speakers and a microphone to kind of counter what we were saying, and he didn't actually have much to say until I took the mic. So initially, I was asking him, how can you, because there were also some Black Lives Matter people in the audience asking me, was I black? Clearly, I'm black, but they were asking me, are you black? Because they didn't like what I had to say. And he was telling me that I should be supporting Black Lives Matter opposed to being at this rally. And I was saying to him, Black Lives Matter only support straight black men when they're dead. How can I get behind this if I say that I love black men and I love black people? Why would I ever support Black Lives Matter who want to completely eradicate the point or the purpose of black men and their position in our communities? And so he didn't like what I had to say, and so it was making him angry that I was not actually coming to his side or giving in to him. So he wanted to try and approach me on this, on the stage. So he was actually trying to get to me and come towards me, but security stopped him from doing that. So that's what you see on camera. I'm actually right in front of the little white backdrop that you see. It was something different on the other side because I was the one speaking and he was trying to get to me.
I find it absolutely hilarious too, by the way, and I'm gonna make this a $1.50 for y'all. When you're black and you do not go with the actual narrative of what the leftists deem you as, or what have you, and you are up with another black person, they always actually ask you, are you black? You're not actually a black person. You're whatever under the card. This is what black people do because you have to. It's almost like you have to follow what they say, otherwise you're just not a black person. You're not of that color. It's like, and then they'll constantly denounce you and say you're not black. These are the words and things that they do. They say to you when you're a black person, you don't go to the same mantra. You want to say that the right's racist? Okay, go ahead. But when we have this here, when we see this from other leftists, they're the ones that actually say if you're black or not, and especially from other black people. So I don't want to hear this BS from the right or whatever being racist, because I have personally dealt with more racist leftist people than I have ever dealt with racist right people at all. And it's really irritating.
So he had him and his Black Lives Matter followers who just did not like the fact that there was a black woman there who was speaking against Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, so as we've seen here, this guy is obviously not the best person for the job. He's not the greatest person. He's quite terrible, and it is what it is. It's just what we show. And of course, we have here Texas home of Austin Metcalf's father swatted. So again, it's insane. It's insane on what's been going on here. So what we have here, obviously, is black people being angry that at a father that is grieving and just want to listen to what's been going on, and immediately after they SWAT him. They SWAT his actual house. This is what black people do, man. This is disgusting. You guys want to say that you're not racist or you're not like terrible people or you're going to say that like you're not doing this or that. Well, what are you doing here exactly? Like you're actually swatting somebody. You do realize swatting people is a felony, right? Like you get attempted murder charge by swatting people. Like it's insane. So they want to say they're not the racist, they're not the bad people, we're not the enemies. Yet you're swatting a father for what reason exactly? What's the point in all of this? I just don't know. So again, this is the insanity here that we have from the Karmelo Anthony the people that support him, the people that are aligned with him. I don't think there's a good ounce of nature in people's body. Like the father does not deserve this whatsoever. He didn't ask for any of this. His son just passed away, and all of a sudden we have people swatting him because he went to a rally. Like, what are we doing? It's time to grow up. Like, this is ridiculous. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.